Hey, you.
Hey, babe.
I was in the neighborhood, had a little time to kill for my interview. Figured I'd see if I could take you out for a cappuccino.
Oh, that's very sweet, but I'm swamped at the moment, so...
Found one of William's old poems in this box that I picked up. It's a love poem. I think he was in love.
Randall?
Yeah.
I'm trying to do my job. I know you're kind of down on those right now, but I still have to do mine, so...
I'm not down on jobs, Beth. I'm down on one particular job. I'm just waiting for the perfect thing.
You think my job is perfect? I know you're searching for something. Nobody supports your searches more than I do, baby, but recently it feels like you are somewhere in outer space. I need you to go back to work.
That is an excerpt from easily one of the most popular TV series on TV. On NBC, Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. I even got caught up in the hype, Heather B.
Okay.
I had to sit down and watch, well, what is this all about?
What everybody talking about, Sway?
Talking about, and I found myself watching this show with Kleenex and a blanket on me and just tearing up, really relating to the stories that are being told on this show. And we have the one who plays Beth Pearson, the lovely Susan Kelechi Watson is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to the show.
Very happy to be here.
You know, I watch you do your rounds, and you look so excited about what's going on in your career right now.
Yeah.
The impact of this show, I know you hear this all the time, but how has it changed your life?
Ooh, you know what I say now? I gotta look better when I come out the house. You know when you just walk out with your head tie on with the hat? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
My ladies know.
Yes.
And you know, you throw on something, go to the store real quick. Yeah, that's come to an end. But mostly people know you and they have stories to share with you, which is, you know, people talk about the show and it's like, did you think the show was gonna be so big? And the answer is no, definitely not. But it's the impact that I did not realize was going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, how it really changes people's lives and the individual stories that we hear, which is bananas. So that's the part I'm still kind of wrapping my head around, really. But yeah, more people know my name. That's probably the biggest change.
More people know your name. You know, I'm looking at this. The series has we just put together a list of accolades.
Okay.
Nominations for Best Television Series Drama at the 74th Golden Globe Awards, Best Drama Series at the 7th Critics' Choice Awards, Top Television Program by the American Film Institute.
Wow.
And then recently, Sterling K. Brown, he's received an Emmy, a Golden Globe, a Critics' Choice Award, an NAACP Image Award, and a SAG Award.
Yeah, we just got the SAG.
Just got the SAG Award for Outstanding Performance.
As an ensemble, and he got it as an actor.
As an actor, so you got a SAG Award.
I did. I got one of those.
Yo, that's so cool.
Yeah, so, you know, we got the award, and that was great, but my bicep game was on fleek because those awards are like 20 pounds.
Yeah.
So I was walking around with it, and first you're like, I got my award. I don't want nobody to touch this. By the end of the night, you're like, you want to hold it?
Right.
You want to see what that feels like? Yeah, because they're heavy, but... You know, that was like an actor dream. Just, you know, we have our dreams in our, you know, whatever career we're in. And, you know, for your peers to recognize you because they know what it is. Yeah. And they're like the toughest critics. And we try to be honest with one another and all that kind of stuff. So when they recognize the show, and I'm a big fan of my cast. So the fact that they were being awarded and I was being awarded with this group of people, it felt really good.
Felt good. Your people are from Jamaica?
My people are from Jamaica.
So how many people called you from Yard?
I mean, there was a lot of gunshots. There was a lot of prom and a lot of banging on walls. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, some Jamaicans is lit tonight. Okay. But they were very excited. One of my cousins, she texts me and she says something like, if you know win tonight, we want justice. We're going to tear up the place. We want justice.
I want to talk about that too a little bit, Susan, if you don't mind sharing. You mentioned the word dream and where you come from. I always like to hear about the journey. What was it like going into the audition? And then what did you do when you got the call that you got the part?
You know, I went into the audition like any other audition. Like my people called me and they were like, you have an audition for a pilot. It's pilot season, so there's mad auditions. And I went out for it, but this is the thing. The next day, my very good friend, Danai Gurira, is also a playwright. She's on Walking Dead, but she's also a playwright. She's going to be in Black Panther. She's doing everything. And I was going in for her play the next day, and I really wanted that play. So I did this. I did the audition for This Is Us. We didn't even know the title back then. I did that audition, walked out, felt good about it, but I was preparing for this play. Now, I worked on this play with another good friend of mine, and he was like, yo, you got this. This is about to be it. This is fire. We don't need to do anything else to it. I said, cool. Walk into the audition and bomb it. Oh. Like, it was bad. Yeah. And there was like a moment where the character like takes her underwear off from underneath her dress and like throws it. And I did that. And it just felt like I was just taking my underwear off in a room with people and throwing it at them. It just felt very aggressive and wrong. And it didn't feel like part of the story at all. And that's when I knew this is really bad. And so I called my girl afterwards and I was like, yo, I don't even know what happened. I really don't know what happened. And she said, you know what? God probably is like, you can't do this. You're probably going to get a pilot. And I said, I get a call on the other line. They're like, oh, they want to put a pin in you for this project. This Is Us, right? They want to put a pin in you means that they want to see you again. And I was like, yeah, okay, cool. Went back on the other line. I was like, girl, I know that was terrible. You know, we talk about this play. Next thing you know, I go back in for This Is Us. And exactly what she said happened. Like a month and a half later, I'm doing the pilot for This Is Us, which is when her play was happening. So it all happens for like the right reasons. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Divine intervention.
God works it out. Yep, absolutely.
Welcome to your number one stan.
Yes.
Hey!
She introduced herself.
Tracy.
Hey, Tracy.
Very dedicated to This Is Us.
Cool.
I love how all of the characters are humanized. I love how there's just a psychoanalysis of all of, you know, the familial structures. And with my peers, a lot of them who happen to be Black, they love the dynamic of Beth and Randall, especially because it doesn't, you guys don't have like these clear gender roles.
Right.
You just balance, and especially seeing a Black woman be the spine for a man a lot of the times and the compass and give him clarity when he's really foggy. And a lot of us are like, yes.
Good.
How does that feel? And when you were reading the script, did you feel a sense of pride that you were going to be playing such an outstanding woman?
Not at all. You know, the first script, she was only in 2 scenes in the first script, and they didn't really know what they were going to do with that character. So it sort of started with them starting to write more for her and then me starting to play more, and then it was like, oh, this is what she's becoming. But I had no clue. Like, even when people said, you guys' chemistry, we had no idea. We were just trying to be honest, you know what I mean, and just trying to do the scene. And then when it became like relationship goals, and then when it became sort of, you know, this couple that was representing the Black culture, you know what I mean, in a way that became sort of universal. So it's like they're universal, but they're Black, you know what I mean? It became a whole nother thing for us. We had so we didn't walk into it like that, like, oh, we're about to put it down for Black people, you know. It was like, we were just like, you got your lines? Okay, cool, I got mine too. Let's run it. That's it. You know, it was not... None of this is as thought out as planned as y'all think, which maybe makes it such a beautiful journey, because it really is a surprise for us, you know? So when you see us, like, people keep saying at the SAG Awards, we look genuinely shocked. We ain't used to nothing. Like, our cast is not used to nothing. The fact that we still have a job, everybody's like, ooh, we here today. Don't you feel good? It's like that. So we still aren't, you know, but we have embraced it. The one thing I did say to Sterling, when we started it, that summer before we started, I was binge watching 2 things. I was watching TV One, and I was watching, what's the show with they talk about the musicians' lives? It's like a bio.
Unsung?
Unsung. Binging Unsung and Martin. Reruns of Martin.
That's important.
That's it.
You always got to go back to Martin.
You gotta go back to Martin. Yeah. That's the encyclopedia. So I was binging those things, and I didn't know why, because usually I prep for a character with the things that I'm, you know, watching, reading, etc. So I said, why was I watching so much Martin? You know, I get to the show, start doing the scenes with Sterling. I said, oh, I get it. I said, Sterling, I said, if anybody tells us we at least have the chemistry of Martin and Gina, we've done a good job. Wow. I said, we got to at least shoot for that. It got to be that kind of thing where people feel like, that's the top of it. When people feel like they are a couple and we stand by this couple, I said, then we got it. And he said, you know, Sterling, word, ma. Word, man.
That's what the SAG recipients say. Word, ma. He was so eloquent in his speech.
Word, ma is universal.
You know, you guys are going to be the lead out program for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we're right after the Super Bowl this year. Yeah, so
yeah, congratulations.
Hopefully, people will stick around and check us out.
I will.
Well,
good. Thank you, Tracy.
Your stand will.
Right, she'll be there.
We'll be at the Super Bowl. Heather, Wonder, and I will be broadcasting. crossing from there. But immediately after the last second, we're going to rush back to our hotel room and watch the show.
Watch the show?
Yes.
I appreciate you.
Susan, you seem like a cool-ass person to kick it with. Like to hang out
kick
with.
It longer. Yeah, man.
Yes. I was really in awe of the video Family Feud.
Oh, yeah, man. Nobody wins when the family feuds.
Yes, and you played a significant role of the adult Blue Ivy as President of the United States.
Can you believe it?
In the year 2050, with an all-female cabinet, right? And you said some really powerful words.
This is just like the 13th Amendment. Some people have their liberties and some people don't. America is a family, and the whole family should be free. It's like I remember my father saying when I was a little girl, nobody wins when the family feuds.
I tried to say it like Jay-Z. It didn't happen.
Yeah. Your timing was cause it's almost there.
You're doing good, Jay-Z.
Wait, what's the last one? Nobody wins when the family feuds.
Sean Carter.
That's all I got, though. Okay. But that's royalty. J and B. Did they sit down with you and explain this concept to you?
No. You know who did? Jay, from my understanding. Because Jay and B shot there, if I can call them that.
Y'all real personal right there. Okay.
Yeah, Jay and B, they were in New York. They shot their part in New York. And we were in LA at the time. And Ava called me with this super secret project we couldn't tell anybody about. And it was my first time speaking with Ava on the phone. So anything she called me with, I was like, yes. I said yes from the time I picked up the phone. Then she told me about the project. And then, but she had this concept, and she said that he said to her, whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do, just do it. And so she just had this whole concept of starting, their family history and then taking it like 300-400 years into the future and all this kind of stuff. So, and she said to me, I want you to play Blue Ivy. And I said, yeah, I'll do it. And she said, yes, she's the president and she has a female cabinet and you guys are making amendments to the Constitution. I said, I'm here for it.
Damn.
So it was very powerful, which she is. And it had a big impact. I loved hearing about it on social media, the impact. Everybody who had title who saw it.
Yeah. What about all the people in the cabinet, Rosario Dawson? There was a lot of great, powerful people in that cabinet.
Fantastic people.
Did you make friendships? Did you guys? But what was the conversation like for you guys in between cuts?
Well, we were, first of all, I felt really close with all these women. Like, we all just got cool really quick. We were like, it's a testimony to Ava because she just put a bunch of dope people in a room together so everybody got along. But then we were like intimidated because she was like, all right, y'all, just freestyle on the 13th Amendment. And we were like... So just remind me what the 13th. Okay, guys. She's like, and then do the Second Amendment. And we were like, okay, somebody Google Second Amendment. And you didn't want to look like you didn't know. Yeah. But we were a little like, oh man, we just got to freestyle on this. But let me tell you, tell these phenomenal women to freestyle. Oh, they had a freestyle. Like Rosario, because that's how she pronounces it. So I'm gonna do it like her.
Rosario.
Yeah, Rosario said Rosario and Brie Larson. Oh, they were. Honey, into it. And then Constance Wu and then Mindy Kaling at that and Niecy Nash, she gonna come with it. So everybody just kept boom, boom, boom. And I was like, all right, let me jump in here. So we all had this great, at the end of it, we were like, ooh, wiping sweat from our brow, but it felt good. It felt like, oh, we knew what we were talking about. We were passionate about it. Because even if you don't know the specifics, when people bring up whatever that amendment is, you have an opinion. You know what I mean? So we started just kind of going at it, and that's the footage that they got, was just us kind of freestyling about it. Yeah.
Wow, it was excellent. Really well done. So does that mean have you met Jay?
I haven't, and I would like to.
So since you played Blue Ivy, would you address him as Daddy?
Wow.
That'd be funny. Dad.
That's a slippery slope.
You don't want to get formation.
I was going to say, I don't want no beehives.
You don't want to do that, yo.
None of that.
Let me warn you against that.
I'm just trying to be happy.
Okay. All right, we got Susan Kelechi Watson here, 888-742-3345. We got Cody Lee from Florida on the line. Cody, what up?
Cody, what's poppin'?
Hey, Cody.
Hi, Cody.
Yo, Sway in the morning. Sway, Tracy, DJ Wonder, everybody, what's happening?
Hey,
what's up, brother?
What's going on?
Hey, I wanted to ask Susan about how, it was working with Louis, with him, recently being charged with being a creep, like this Harvey Weinstein. Was he really that bad to you? Did you ever notice anything like that?
You know what? I didn't. And, my experience was a positive one. I say that as I also, on the other hand, just give a shout out to all the women who've been courageous enough to speak out about these kinds of things that have been happening to them. Because the fact of the matter is, you know, this can't go on anymore. You know what I mean? Women have to feel like they can, you know, have a job, have a career, and climb in their career and be successful without somehow having to like acquiesce to some kind of, you know, sexual abuse or, you know, indiscretion that they did not, you know, agree to. So at the same time that I had one experience, somebody else had another, you know, and that's the complexity of life sometimes. It doesn't excuse it, but I can't, you know what I'm saying, speak to it. So I kind of leave it at that.
Hey, Cody, man, you're a citizen, man.
Sway in the morning.
Thanks for your call. Susan, I know you have to go. Oh, no, that's it, Cody. All right.
Can I give one shout out?
You're not going yet. We still got
okay. I thought he was about to put me out, y'all. I was like, can I give one shout out?
No, but go ahead, give your shout out.
No, I want to shout out my brother who's listening. I call him Johannes P., but that's not his name. His name is John. And I know he's listening right now because, you know, he gets down with all the XM serious
that's
shows.
What's up,
and he
John.
loves Sway in the morning, Heather B. and Tracy.
Hey, John, you a citizen, baby.
Act like you know that.
Yo, usually when guests come here, male guests come here, Heather looks them up and down, does a one take, a look-see, and then she comments on their grade of hair. Okay. And I'm looking at Susan's hair. You haven't said anything about her grade of hair.
We couldn't even get past the shoes and the outfit. She's just so fly. It is absolutely unbelievable. No, she already know. We high five.
Okay, cool.
Before she even sat down.
Right. Okay. You're first timers. So for our first timers, we do this thing called
fancy bag. It's called fancy bag.
The mystery sack.
Go ahead and reach in.
Dig deep, dig deep.
Put your hands into Sway's sack.
That sounds gross.
It's Sway's Mystery Sack on Shade 45.
By the way, with the current climate, we're going to change that production.
Hashtag no Harvey. Gotta say it.
Yeah, we got to change that production.
I'm done.
Yeah, that's it.
Update it.
I'm not going to say no. I'm going to reach into the bag.
Well, okay. Absolutely, Susan.
All right.
The bag.
All right. But I'm going to dig deep.
Yeah, okay.
Good.
You have to pick out 3 questions, one at a time.
Okay, one at a time. Oh, Lord.
You got to be honest.
Read it out loud.
Oh, Jesus.
Good luck.
This be a good one.
Yes.
All right, here we go. Yes. Who should pay for dinner when you're married and both of you are wealthy? Okay. So who paid the last time? Let me think. Let me come up with the scenario. All right. So it's New Year's and y'all are both out. And, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's looking good. Who wants to drop the thing on the I would say, if you're both wealthy, can I say this? I feel like either one. Like I think you should switch off. That's my whole thing.
Tag team the bill.
Yeah, tag team. Because you know it's a nice thing.
Answer.
Okay, I like that. I like that.
Very thoughtful.
It's fair.
Yeah.
All right.
She's not being
here
greedy.
we go. Yeah, no. Because I got mine too. All right, here we go. What is the most annoying personality trait someone can have? All right, there's 2 things. I think if you don't recognize personal space, you know, when somebody's around you, but they're always like a little bit too close, that bothers me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I like personal space.
I noticed when I went to hug you outside, you kind of
I pushed back.
I noticed that. Okay.
Because I just felt like, why doesn't he know?
Okay.
I hugged him. Don't tell the people lies. They're going to be like, ooh, I'm unfollowing her. Okay, what is the most... And the other one would be not recognizing, like, when a conversation is over. Do you know what I mean? Like, wrap it up.
Yeah.
Do you remember, I think Dave Chappelle had this. Did he have a wrap it up button? Did somebody have that on, like, a show where there was a wrap...
Chappelle.
It was Chappelle,
Yeah.
the wrap it up button.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that might be it.
Okay, third and final question.
Third and final.
Susan's doing good at this, by the way.
She's thinking them out, too.
Yes.
She's thinking them
All
out.
right, here. If we could learn any new skill in the world, ooh, that's good. What would it be? I think it would be to listen to people more before you speak. Just kind of take a moment before you want to express your opinion and be all hot about it. Listen to somebody and then engage in a way where you can have a conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, you're dope. That's pretty good. Yo, nobody has taken these questions so seriously.
I take things.
Yo,
I focus so much.
Thank you.
I get made fun of.
You have such a great career now, and I can't wait to see where it goes as you continue success to you, Susan. You're doing an excellent job, and we feel your energy too, man.
I would love to come back. I wish I was here all morning.
You can come back, hang out with us anytime. You know where we are.
Absolutely.
Okay? All right.
It's Sway in the morning, only on Shade 45. Kilo.